Welcome back, everybody, to another TIMBP Live. My name is Perry. Thank you so much for being here with me tonight. If it is your first time here, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button, like the video on your way in as well. Say what up in the chat. That's just a general, like, hey, if you're here, say what little what up. Super excited to get into this here soon. Good evening, all. Good evening to you, Junior Pancake. I hope you're well, buddy. I saw Dramhound was in here earlier as well. Hope everybody's just having a great week. This has been a stressful week for sure, getting back to kind of the full swing of things. But, you know, it's just how it goes, man. The new year hits and you're like, oh, guess I gotta do all this that I've been doing. Or that I was doing and I kind of forgot how to do it. I think that's probably a better way of putting it. Sugar Kitty's here. Meow. Meow, Sugar Kitty. Hope you're well. Please excuse me as I'm getting these opened up and ready to go. Let you know a few things while we are doing so. If you have not listened to this week's episode yet, that link, well, you can find that right here on YouTube after the stream is over. It only took... Oh, man, those smell so good. I'm actually going to throw another one on here. But something was going on with my computer this week, and I finally got around to running just a test on it tonight to see if anything needed to get cleared up, and it did. And so I went through and I tested, see if I could get the upload time down with the same file and everything, and sure enough, it seemed to fix it. So hopefully this will not happen again next week, but I will keep you posted. ASMR tinkles. There you go, John. Zofer, what's up, buddy? Hope you're doing well. I apologize that I didn't do this ahead of time. I had to make dinner and time really quickly got away from me. So, here I am. Ooh. Jeff Wack is here. Hello again, Whiskey Friends. Hello to you, buddy. Hope you're well. Hope you've had a good week, a good start to your year. Yeah, chat soon. Not for any, like, big reason. It's just we haven't chatted in a while. All right, 2 more bags and then I'm done. And again, I apologize for this. Eric and I are recording tomorrow, too, for next week's episode, so... so far, so great. Good to hear, man. If anybody has anything you want to see on next week's episode, shoot us a message. We got some fun Patreon content coming as well. And also, we're in the middle of a January review surge. So, if you are on the Apple Podcast app and you have not yet subscribed, or excuse me, reviewed the show, you can do so during the month of January and you'll get entered into a giveaway for some samples. There we go. All done. What did Chef Perry whip up for dinner? Chef Perry whipped up a frozen chicken parm with some extra chicken. Sorry. Oh, Farty Hands over on the Twitch. Hello, Farty Hands. Hope you're well. Good to have you in here. Great screen name, by the way. Username, handle, I don't know. Aloha, all. The beard is looking especially Amish this evening. The beard has finally kind of grown in from where I shaved it off back in October. And feeling pretty good about it. I missed my beard. I probably should trim it up a little bit, but, you know. Howdy, the Cowboy's here. Hello, Mr. Cowboy. Save a horse, ride Eric Jansen. Cheers, everyone. Driving, so my chat will be limited. Thank you for engaging in safety first there, John. I want to let you all know how to support the show, too. If you want to do so right here during the live stream, you can do so by heading to the Stream Elements link, which is our way of doing super chats. Your message will show up right here on screen. Goes to support Mr. Snuffleupagus back there. And all that good stuff. All that good stuff. Isaiah's V? What's up, Isaiah? Wack gave us his New Year's whiskey resolution yesterday. Do I have any? New Year's whiskey resolution. Oh! While I'm thinking about that, first Snuffy Chat of the evening from Mr. Tony Bag of Donuts. Says, this is the first Snuffy Chat sent from a runway, taking off 24 hours late. Gotta turn on airplane mode. Tony, have a safe flight. Thank you so much for being here, buddy. Appreciate you being around. Whiskey goals because we knew we would fail some. I think the obvious one is to drink less. Look at these guys in here. What up, Swan? My goal, my weight's fluctuated a lot over the past few years, and my goal is to hit 200 pounds by 30 years old. And the reason that it's 30 is because I turned 30 this August. So, yeah, I would very much like to get to a target weight of 200 pounds before, or around, you know. I mean, generally it's like 2023. That's my goal. So drink less in the pursuit of weighing less, I guess. My resolutions this year are not really super bourbon related, and I talked about it on last week's podcast, or last week's Patreon stuff. But my main resolution is just to say yes to being more creative, and the reason that I'm doing that is for a few reasons. The first one being that I have all these ideas. I have so many creative ideas right now. I've got music that needs to be recorded. I've got podcasts that I want to make. Thanks, Junior Pancake. Appreciate you. Like stuff that I just want to write, not even like music related. And so just engaging with that creative part of my brain that I kind of have ignored a little bit over the past few years, and taking the time to really do some special stuff. So this is going to be a fun year of creativity. I don't think I will wind up getting everything published necessarily, if that makes sense, for everything that I want to do creatively. But the goal, the idea is to just be creative. And so that's just where things are going to progress for me this year. And yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I'm going to keep you guys updated along the way as well. Okie dokie, artichoke. Don't know why I said that. So we tonight are going to be going through the tasting kit from the Holly Hill Inn, which is a local bed and breakfast around Lexington, Kentucky. And they have set out, or they being Ouita Michel, who is a world-renowned chef. She has been on Top Chef. She's been on the Food Network a bunch of times. Really, really just awesome Kentuckian. One of those people that we kind of point to like, look, we're Kentucky good. Kentucky good. Ouita's just one of our shining stars, I would say. So what we have here is this tasting mat. Doop doop doop. The setup: pour at least 2 ounces of your favorite bourbon. Distribute food bites to players. That's just me tonight. And place each in its labeled spot. So we start with the aged cheddar wafers right here. Move our way around the circle. Toasted hazelnut, orange slice, dried raspberry, dark chocolate button, ruby chocolate button, sorghum, sucker, and there's a little bonus, other side, the coconut macaroons, which look absolutely divine. But so the reason that I'm doing this too, this is not sponsored by Ouita or the Holly Hill Inn or anything. This was actually my Christmas present for my sister. So I'm excited to get into all this. Fancy Franchi, what up, Fancy Franchi? Says Kentucky good, Kentucky good. Clifton, cheers, Perry. Thanks for making me hungry. Clifton, I hope you are feeling all right, my friend. I am so sorry that you have got the COVID. Having had it myself, it's no fun. I don't wish it upon anybody. And I had a light version of it. I'm being kind of a baby about it, but I think you once you're through the worst of it, you're gonna be thankful for good health. Coming from a guy who just was sick fairly recently too. All right, so I'm taking a slightly different approach with this one because it's this is my bourbon podcast. It's Kentucky good, COVID bad. Kentucky good, COVID bad. Kentucky good, COVID bad. Anyway, I wanted to do this little tasting experiment with a couple of different bourbons. I figured it just made sense to go with 2 of my favorites, of course. The first one being a Knob Creek pick from a store in Richmond, Kentucky, about 30 minutes south of Lexington. And then an Elijah Craig pick from Liquor Barn here in Kentucky. The Elijah Craig single barrel, it's a barrel proof, 128.3 proof, 10 years old. And the Knob Creek is, of course, 120 proof. It's about 9.5 years as well. So, per the instructions provided by Ouita, what I'm supposed to do, and I think this sounds pretty familiar to anybody who's familiar with the podcast, and you're like, oh, where's Eric? Where's Eric? Eric's working tonight. So I had to step up the food pairing, the game, since Eric couldn't make it for this. But here we go. Cheers to you all. And my smudgy Glencairn. Mm. Now, first and foremost, these cheese wafers are fantastic. Nurse Mutant, indeed. A big part of what they're trying to do with this tasting kit is getting you to, of course, experience bourbon by pairing it with certain foods, by pairing it with different, little tasting experiences. And it immediately struck me as odd that the very first thing was a savory snack, a savory piece of food. But I will say, I get it. A lot of what's happening is that while I'm still tasting the bourbon, it's almost doing it's almost also cleansing my palate for what comes next, because I don't get an overwhelming bourbon sense from it all. The actual like bakingness of it all, the cracker part of it is really quite savory and tends to be the predominant flavor as opposed to the cheese, I would say. I'm gonna try this in reverse though. I'm gonna try taking a bite and then doing a sip. Kind of swirl it around a little bit. I actually like that experience better. The Knob Creek introduces this chocolate note, and it kind of reminds me of chocolate-covered pretzels with that savory kind of undertone coming from the cracker itself. This is, I mean, we're one in and I'm having a great time. So I'm looking forward to seeing where the rest of this goes, but yeah, it's just crazy how it's not really like complementing too much of what's happening with the whiskey. It mostly just feels like it's setting you up for what's to come with the rest of the experience. I am going to try this with the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof as well, for science. Well, the Elijah Craig with the addition turned it into like salted caramel. That a completely different experience from what I was getting with the Knob Creek. Really, really wild. I wish I had a third Glencairn so I could have done like a mix of the two. But I'm home by myself. I'm doing a live stream. I don't want to leave the camera because I don't know what you guys would get up to. So, here we are. Aged cheddar wafer. This is one of those things I kind of just want to eat on my own because I like these so much. But that being said, the experience of tasting it with the bourbon is really fun. And you can definitely tell that switching up between a couple of different profiles helps to change the experience in general. Nice. Okay. So I'm going to have less to kind of work with as I move on throughout this. Wow, those crackers are so daggone good. The next one, toasted hazelnut, which kind of looks like a tooth. So this one's going to be interesting because inherently both of these whiskeys have nutty profiles to them. Not necessarily the same, but nuttiness is something that is present with Knob Creek Single Barrel and Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. So I'm actually going to take a sip of water here too. And I'm going to breathe because kind of gave up on. I wasn't really breathing too much throughout most of that. All right, toasted hazelnut with Knob Creek. The hazelnut really brings out a richness with the Knob Creek. Wow. It suddenly gets really decadent. Almost like German chocolate cake. It's really good. I like that a lot. As I get older, I discover I kind of like hazelnut, too. It's not my favorite flavor in the world, but it's definitely something that I enjoy. Oh, Emily, hey, what's up? Good to have you in the chat. Sorry, I forgot to say hi to you. Oh, Papa Ritter. You stumped me with that one. I don't know that song. Oh, man. It's rare that you stump me. But at the same time, I mean, we don't listen to the exact same music, so I don't know what that song is. Part of me feels like it's a Taylor Swift song. Swan would bathe in hazelnut. There you go. All right, now trying with the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Oh. It's a McCartney song? Oh, it is McCartney. Huh. That's one of those songs where I guess I've never really taken the time to listen to that opening line. That's crazy. I can't believe I've never paid attention to that. You guys are... The puns are incredible. Toasted hazelnut. Different with the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof for sure. I think I like it with the Knob Creek a little bit better. The Elijah Craig makes it just kind of... It kind of dries it out a little bit, oddly enough. Not bad. Just different. You guys are killing me. All right. Moving on to the orange slice. It's a dried orange slice. And I guess... Oh! Oh! I wasn't expecting it to be that soft. Thought I was going to have a loud crack and a chew. That was like an instant old-fashioned. Oh, that's so good. That's the one that I was the most skeptical about. I was like, what am I going to do with a dried piece of orange? But that is awesome. Like, it seriously just... It just feels like an old-fashioned immediately. That's crazy. It brings out a little bit of a sourness in the Knob Creek, too, that I wasn't anticipating, honestly. But quite nice. All right, let's try it with the Elijah Craig. Whoa! With the Elijah Craig, it brings out this... That is so weird. It brings out this, like, toasted graham cracker note. I was not expecting that. If you had told me what to expect when pairing just a dry orange slice with the bourbon, I wouldn't have anticipated. I would not have anticipated that coming out. Toasted graham cracker. That's crazy. Good stuff, man. Ouita, this is, if you by chance ever happen to see this is a lot of fun. People definitely need to get in on this. All right, moving on to the dried raz cherries. They kind of just look like raisins. Now, with this one, it's basically a cherry. It's just a cherry raisin. But I wanted to kind of acclimate myself to it first, because I've never had this before. I mean, I guess I have. But this is the one that seemed the most kind of off the wall a little bit. It turns it into a cookie. If ever there were such a thing as a chocolate peanut butter craisin cookie, that's what drinking the Knob Creek with the dried raz cherry does. Now I want you to hear dried raz cherry as a bourbon tasting note on the podcast. I genuinely might. I mean, now that it's in my lexicon, there's a very good chance that I will wind up talking about it or using it when I review something. Good chance of that. can't get over how good that is. All right. Elijah Craig barrel proof. That was a good cherry. The cherry's a lot more dominant with the Elijah Craig. Not in a bad way, but it doesn't have this like transformative quality to it that it did with the Knob Creek. Yes. Really cool though. I have to refill a little bit of my Knob Creek actually. Well, I'm not pouring enough for myself. So I'm about halfway through this. And we're just about halfway through the stream. Good time to remind you, if you haven't liked the stream yet, like the video, please do so. If you have not yet subscribed, now is a good chance to do that as well. Woo! Share it with your friends. All that good stuff. And also, if you want to support the show, you can do so through Snuffy Chats. Links below, also at the top, pinned in the YouTube comments section as well. All right. Dark chocolate buttons. Exactly what they sound like. Just little pieces of chocolate that look like buttons. That's some good chocolate, too. Oh, dang. Well, Papa Ritter, you gotta pour something soon. Whoa, that's crazy. Adding the Knob Creek to the dark chocolate seemed to take some of the bitterness off of that. Weird. And it does definitely turn it into like a boozy double chocolate cake or a chocolate cookie. Like cookie base with chocolate chips in the cookie itself. That's good, man. That's really cool. I like that. Not a whole lot happening with the Elijah Craig on that one. Oh, pairing with Jingle Jangle. Heck yeah. Absolutely. Let's do that. I had a little bit of that earlier. I was just sitting right there. My boxes or my tin of it is almost gone. I need to finish it. Yeah, the Elijah Craig's not really doing a whole lot. Let me go back again. Adds in a little bit of like caramel to it. But the experience all around is not my... It's not my favorite. It's just... Didn't have a lot to it, oddly enough. I don't know why. It was odd. All right. Now, I have never had this before. Or if I have, I haven't had a name for it. They're called Ruby Chocolate Buttons. Same size and shape as the dark chocolate ones I just had. but ruby chocolate. It's just like white chocolate. Oh, man. Oh, what is happening? It turns it into like a raspberry jam. That's crazy. Not as much of a chocolatey thing as the actual dark chocolate. It was really good though. I liked that a lot. That was a fun little experience. It just hit me out of nowhere and I was like, okay. Raspberry jam. Patrick Starkey, the bourbon noob himself. Hello. The Elijah Craig turns it darker. Definitely down a darker path. Again, this Elijah Craig is just not really doing a whole lot with the sweeter stuff. Didn't Peggy No Stevens say that Elijah Craig pairs really good with pepperoni pizza? I feel like she did. I could be wrong. All right, moving into the last couple of pairings here. It's a sorghum sucker. You know why they call it sorghum? Because your gum's going to be sore after you eat it. I'm not getting a whole lot from it. There's no way that I can just take a bite of it. You know, I mean, it's still hard as a rock. So Perry just let his Lexington out. Dad just said okay. Now, here's the thing. I have never heard anybody say that phrase before, but it's possible that I'm not the first person to think of it. Oh, man. I was proud of that, though. You know why I call it sorghum? Because your gum's going to be sore after you eat it. This is what you all wanted. You wanted to come here and see me suck on a sucker. It just tastes like a slightly sweeter Knob Creek. And to be completely honest, too, my gums are a little sore, but I have had quite a bit of chocolate and sweets tonight. So, yeah, the sorghum sucker lives up to its name. It's really good, though. It's just very sweet. I just realized how horrible those noises are. I'm so sorry. Can you hear it, Lester, from over here? Now that's interesting. It was so savory. The sorghum, like, stripped away the sweetness from the Elijah Craig and turned it really, really savory. That was really cool. I wasn't anticipating that. Big Vic's here. Happy New Year, Perry. Love you, buddy. Love you too, man. I hope you're doing well. It's good to see you in the chat. Did you just launched a Patreon this week too, right? I think I remember seeing that. Sorghum Sucker. Cool. Don't know if it's the best vehicle for doing anything other than, and maybe this is the purpose of it, showing that bourbon can be savory, but I like it. It's different. It reminds me a lot of those caramel apple suckers that you would get at Halloween time. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. But it was like a green apple sucker, or red apple. I think somebody said that red apple was out there too. Anyway, but it was like drizzled in caramel too, or caramel if you're wrong. But that's beside the point. This is really, I'm convincing myself the more I talk about it that this is actually a really good piece of candy. I just don't know if I can have any more of that. All right. Last but not least, moving on to the coconut macaroons. They're good. You did get a Patreon up this week, Vic. Awesome. Working on stuff, but it's up. It's always a work in progress, man. I still, like, if I really sat down, and I need to, but if I really sat down and restructured the Patreon, like, things would definitely be different. So, I get it. I mean, it's always a work in progress, for sure. All right. Coconut macaroons. Now, I want to say this. I'm not typically a texture person. I don't love the texture of shredded coconut. It's one of the like few things. It doesn't like make me gag or anything. It's not my favorite texture. This tastes really freaking good, though. I'm gonna throw some bourbon at it, see what happens. Okay. All of a sudden, it's like a coconut banana cream pie. Interesting. What's up, Brian? Abandoned Bourbon's in the house. Good to see you in here, dude. Hope you've been well. We haven't chatted in a while. I'm going to be in your neck of the woods here in a couple weeks. and then also in March. You're ready for my top of the year list? I put it out last week. Was that last week? Yeah, I did a whole episode on it. Been meaning to reach out to me about some stuff. I'll shoot you a message when we're done. Oh, you got it queued. Okay. I got you now. I thought you were saying that, like, you were ready for me to do my reveal. It's like, I've revealed it. I can't tell anybody. Like, I don't want to spoil it for you or for anybody who hasn't watched it yet. Maybe by, like, end of January, I'll be able to talk about it more. Papa Reader's out. Gonna bounce. Love and cheers to you all. See you next week. See you on Saturday, Papa Ritter. Or tomorrow, actually. Papa Ritter's dropping off my new phone in the morning. Had to get a new iPhone. This one's just hit a wall. I've had it for 2 years, so that's how it goes. But anyway, I'm very glad this is my last sweet thing that I have to eat, because it has hit the bottom of my stomach like a rock. Now, the Elijah Craig turned the coconut macaroon into like a derby pie with coconut in it. I don't know how that happens. What's for breakfast? I'll make you some really salty eggs tomorrow, Dad. I'll give you a whole bag. I'll give you a bag of scrambled eggs that are way too salty. Anyway, if anybody's looking for a way to spice up, not literally, but to kind of make your derby pie unique and different, add coconut. I can't believe I'm advocating for adding coconut to anything. It's really good, though. Yeah, like I said, I'm just not a big coconut guy. But I'm actually I'm gonna make the mutant proud. I'm gonna do a little pour over. Just enough. Coconuts is amazing. German chocolate cake is highly slept on. I don't know why I want to use this voice so much tonight. Oh, Junior Pancakes asked, Derby pie? Derby pie is a Kentucky delicacy that mostly involves bourbon, chocolate, and pecans. And it's incredible. Oh, we got a bot! Swan, quick! Swan, you're needed! Swat the bot! Yeah, I get him out of here! Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show y'all instead of telling you what a derby pie is. Got him! All right, so here There we go. That's more how I wanted to do it. Here you see the Kentucky Derby pie. A yummy chocolate chip cookie pie with nuts, usually served warm with ice cream or whipped cream. I'm going to move my screen over a little bit. I feel like that picture doesn't look super appetizing, but I'm telling y'all, it's a Kentucky and a Kentucky Derby tradition. Look at that. Get you some bourbon in there too. And now apparently some coconut shavings. But man, it sounds like a regional sex act. Thanks, Pat. Thanks for that, brother. Oh, man. So that was the Holly Hill Inn's bourbon tasting kit. I feel like I just had a second meal with the amount of food that I just went through. Really cool, though. You can buy them online for about $30 directly through the Holly Hill Inn. I'll put a link up in the description after the stream is over. But really cool, man. I knew it was going to be good, but I wasn't really anticipating it being that, like, that much of an experience. You know, because we paired stuff forever, and we try bourbon with different things, but that was an experience. So, thank you, Sarah, for the Christmas present. I got more of this too, so I'm gonna get Eric to try some on next week's Patreon episode for the pregame chats. So, tune in for that. Junior Pancake. Well, there goes my New Year's resolution because I gotta get one of them. Here, you know what I'll do? I will just go ahead and throw this bad boy up in the chat. And then, like I said, I'll also put it in the description for anybody who's watching on the replay or anything like that. But you'll get everything that I had in there. You can, of course, taste it with any bourbon you'll want, too. Each kit contains toasted hazelnuts, aged cheddar cheese wafers, dried cherries, and dried sweet orange slices, Callebaut dark chocolate and ruby chocolate buttons, Ruth Hunt candy, sorghum suckers, coconut macaroons, and 4 game boards. Set up around a bourbon not included, and embark on an enlightened appreciation of Kentucky's finest. Man, good stuff. Enjoyed doing that. I hope you all wind up grabbing one too. That's nice. I like that. I still got a little bit of time. I still got 5 minutes. At least 5 minutes. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a nice little infinity pour between these two. See what happens. Actually, I wanted to do this anyway. I'll try it with the cherry. I'm going to start doing old fashions with a split base of Knob Creek single barrel and Elijah Craig barrel proof. That is astounding. That's absolutely fantastic. The chocolate is pronounced Calibo and it's top tier culinary. And here I was just pairing it with bourbon. I mean, I know you're supposed to. I know that's the whole thing. It's very good. It's very, very good chocolate. So, all right, I think I am going to go ahead and wrap things up tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, we appreciate your support. You guys are just the best. You're the best. And I think that does it. Follow on social media at My Bourbon Pod. Support on Patreon, patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast for as little as $1 a month. We'll see you guys real soon. Until next time, I'm Perry. And this is TIMBP Live.